What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have a battle submission from Let Jim Eat. I like the name. Someone give this man some food. We got Golbat, Vigoroth, and Greedent over there. Very interesting flyer double normal team. Something we don't conventionally see in this meta. Golbat has always been pretty strong, an outlying flyer in the meta. So we'll have to see how it performs today. These are at, as you guys can see, the veteran range, so 24,000-2,500 right in there. Let's go and get right into the battles. All right, getting into the first battle here, we have Golbat on the lead versus Shadow Alolan Sandslash. Well, that is a really bad lead. We're going to see a swap out right away into Greedent, and the opponent is deciding to stay in. Now, Shadow Alolan Sandslash here can still do some good chip damage with Ice Punch and Drill Run, but unfortunately the Shadow Claws are going to be resisted. Now, I'm curious to see why they're staying in. If a Shadow Alolan Sandslash is deciding to stay in this kind of situation, they probably have a second counter in the back to Golbat. That'd really be the only reason why. Or Greedent is hard covering the back line. The odds of that being the case is not very high. But Body Slam after the Trailblaze just got the Shadow Alolan Sandslash extremely low. The Greedent as well. Looking to no shield as the Drill Run will land and Mud Shot down is possible. Greedent is able to take it. We do see a Azumarill come in right here. So Trailblaze is going to do some nice, super effective damage. We'll have to see if they can get to 2 in time. That would actually be incredible. But by the looks of it, they're not going to make it, but they will be able to get to Body Slam right here. This is going to do a lot of chip damage. That's going to be very needed for Golbat to potentially take down the Azumarill, as they do actually get a shield. Perfect. Now, Golbat is going to be most likely coming in because of the Poison Fang charge move. That is going to be doing super effective damage. Even though Azumarill can do well against flyers with the Ice Beam, Poison Fang right here is going to start putting down some pressure as they do go for it right away, which is a pretty good call considering that you want to get this debuff onto the Azumarill so that the wing attacks do more and more as we do. That is why they stayed in with the Shadow Alolan Sandslash. They had a Lantern in the back, so the Alolan Sandslash with double water backline, as we will see a no shield right here on the Surf. Vigoroth, though, in a great position to still potentially win this game, as Body Slam is going to be doing a lot of damage. Thankfully, there's no debuffs whatsoever on the field, so that Vigoroth is doing full damage, right, with these Body Slams. 2 should be enough. They do get a shield right there, but they're going to have to be very careful, as Vigoroth now has to give up the final shield against the Lantern. So what they really need to look to do is try to go for double Body Slam right here and hope that they can outpace the Azumarill to the next charge move, as we will see the Vigoroth try to get rid of Lantern, but actually, no, this is going to be enough. Yeah, with the counter damage, they should be able to farm down, and we'd probably see a quick swap into Golbat once the Lantern goes down. They actually swap now. Bold move into the Golbat. Azumarill comes in, and they do have the Poison Fang in time, so that is going to be a good game. Very well played, as Golbat is going to be cleaning up right there. Boom, down it goes. All right, moving into the next battle here, we have Golbat on the lead versus Mandibuzz. Probably one of the more premier flyers in the meta, definitely on the tankier side, right? Golbat, it's got to compete with Pokemon like Altaria, Skarmory, Talonflame, maybe even Shadow Dragonite, Mandibuzz. Those are the flyers that are pretty dominant. Golbat has always been trying to fight its way through, and it's always been there, to be completely honest. It's always been viable in a lot of metas, as there's always been grass or fighters out there, as we will see a Foul Play land here against the Greedent. A counter swap now into Vigoroth, which is going to be kind of tough. Vigoroth in this situation should be able to go for a pretty aggressive farm down with the counter fast move, but Body Slams right here are going to be starting to add up, and Greedent can get to them very quickly with the Mud Shot. Now, Vigoroth actually decided to throw a Body Slam right here, which is obviously going to seal the deal for Greedent, as unfortunately it won't be able to survive long enough to throw a third Body Slam in this matchup to potentially flip things around, as we will see the Vigoroth farm down. Now, Golbat has an opportunity here, but they have to watch out for Rock Slide. Vigoroth, if you guys didn't know, got access to that charge move in a previous season update, which makes it extremely viable and a top meta Pokemon to have in the Great League, right? So we will see a shield on the potential Rock Slide right here, which it is perfect. They should be able to go for a farm down, but they actually swap into their own Vigoroth to get ahead on energy, fearful that they might not be able to farm down, or maybe hoping that there's actually a fighter in the back or something weak to Golbat, but we will see Mandibuzz come in right now. This is a pretty big tell that they are weak to Vigoroth in the back. My guess is something a bit more tanky, right? As we will see Body Slam be thrown. They did have enough energy for Rock Slide, but maybe they're hoping to get a shield bait right here from the Mandibuzz, which they do. Perfect. This is a great opportunity for them to now go for the Rock Slide, but unfortunately they don't get there in time, and they're going to be forced to give up their final shield. All we got to do is hope that there is no hard counter to Golbat in the back, because Vigoroth is the last line of defense if that is the case. Rock Slide now being thrown into the Mandibuzz. No shield right there. It's a Lantern in the back. This makes sense. Unfortunately, Lantern is going to be extremely common in the Great League meta. It's incredibly powerful. I love using it a lot, and for reasons like this, we will see a Golbat swap in to try to go for the Poison Fang debuff. Again, trying to soften it up. Maybe the Vigoroth could farm down. They do get a shield there as well, but this Lantern has a lot of energy, and unfortunately, Vigoroth just doesn't have the health remaining. Boom, down it goes. Doesn't have the health remaining to get that counter down that they need in order to win. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. All right, moving into the next one, we have Golbat on the lead versus Shiftry. Wow, this is a throwback, an absolute throwback. Haven't seen Shiftry in years, as we do see a Swampert come out onto the field. Shiftry, such an original Pokemon. If you guys remember back in the day, I'm talking like Season 1, Season 2 kind of days, Caleb Pang made a very popular Skarmory double grass team. It was Skarmory, Meganium, Anchor with a Shiftry safe swap. It was deadly. But now what we are seeing is a throwback to that, but Greedent right here is in a good position to maintain switch advantage, and obviously the back line currently here for Let Jim Eat is going to be great against the Shiftry. Whether it's counter or wing attack, both are good. And I think if you're the Greedent right now, you got to look to go for shielded advantage instead of maybe hard switch. But we'll have to see what they decide to do. They actually are opting to go for hard switch right here as they're loading up on energy, and a Body Slam should be enough to knock out, especially with the Trailblaze boost that they have gotten. As Body Slam right here is going to be shielded. So now it's going to be a race to the next charge move, and they don't get there in time. Unfortunately, Swampert is going to be knocking out the Greedent here with a Hydro Cannon. Boom, down it goes. Vigoroth maybe coming out onto the field. Yeah, Vigoroth's going to come out onto the field, look to counter down. They could easily tank a Hydro Cannon if the opponent gets there in time, which they do. But this is still a tough game to potentially come back from, because we don't know. Oh, it was an Earthquake. They had so much energy, and a Shiftry swapping. This is pretty crazy. A Shiftry coming into a matchup like this means they are extremely weak to Vigoroth in the back. They're going to go ahead and swap out into Golbat. The opponent swaps in, and it is a Alolan Ninetales with Powder Snow, which is obviously a very good counter in terms of the offensive damage that it can put out with Powder Snow and Weather Ball. So this is such a tough position to be in. The Shiftry has energy. You guys got to remember that. It has a Leaf Blade ready to go. Weather Ball, not enough to knock out. The Poison Fang actually is going to be coming through. This is perfect. This is just the amount of damage that Golbat will need in order to knock out, and then we will see the Shiftry be forced to throw the charge move here. And I don't think they have back-to-back ready to go. Vigoroth has a Body Slam, if I remember correctly. Yes, they do. So they're going to be winning the game here, because the Shiftry had to go for one more Snarl, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Man, what a throwback, right? Alolan Ninetales, the Swampert, and Shiftry, as we go ahead and move into the next battle. Golbat versus Hakamo-o. Now, Hakamo-o here is a pretty spicy new fighter into the meta. Obviously, it's got to watch out for Charmers, right? That's the big thing it needs to fear. But what's great about the Hakamo-o is the Dragon Tail fast move damage that it has, paired with the Brick Break recently updated debuff and Dragon Claw. Very, very spammy, as we will see a Poison Fang debuff there on Skarmory and a swap into Vigoroth. Now, obviously, he was hoping to potentially get a shield there with Shadow Ball, but what's cool is even though they didn't get the shield that they wanted, Oh, a Brave Bird. Excuse me. Even though they didn't get the shield that they wanted, they applied the debuff, which is now going to make Counter and Rock Slide do that much more damage, forcing a shield now as they can come in with Greedent and look to load up on energy. Oh, this is kind of tough, actually, because Greedent doesn't have Crunch. Yeah, they got to come in with Golbat right here. They're just not going to be doing enough damage, but what they... Okay, they're just going to go for the Shadow Ball right away. They want to maintain the 2-to-1 shield advantage because Greedent can still do well against that Hakamo'o with the Mudshot Body Slam spam, and we will see that Golisopod is in the back, so this team was definitely core broken by the wing attack damage here from Golbat. The Poison Fangs going to be putting down the defensive drop pressure, and then we will see the potential sweep here with the Greedent as they may just let this go. No, they're going to go ahead and shield. It was an X-Scissor shield bait. We will see the Hakamo'o swap in. The Poison Fang comes in just in time. And now this is the type of situation where you want to be swapping into the Greedent to get ahead on energy. You don't want to get farmed down. You want to get to that body slam, but Hakamo'o potentially, does it have close combat? No, okay, it's going to be using Brick Break right there. Still a good amount of damage. They're going to need to throw this Body Slam, and very soon. With the debuff from Poison Fang, this should be enough damage to knock out, but let's see. Yeah, it's definitely enough damage right there. Hakamo'o goes down. Golisopod is coming in. They go for the Trailblaze, as this... Was Body Slam going to be better? But Trailblaze, it should do enough anyways. That is going to be a good game, very well played. Alright, moving into the next battle. We have Golbat on the lead versus Annihilate. Once again, very positive lead, but Annihilate has good answers with its charge moves, as we will see them decide to stay in. So once again, always read what your opponent is doing and not doing. This is a big tell that they might be core broken, and the Golbat, I wasn't counting the counters. Okay, it was just Night Slash they were counting. Has to watch out. Oh, they got the boost. This is where things get pretty deadly. Poison Fang is going to be resisted, but if the opponent is going to invest shields because of the Night Slash... Oh, they're just going to let it go. Wow. Okay, so now, unfortunately, they're going to have to shield this Night Slash, and they did charge attack priority here, which means they won't be able to get the farm down as Poison Fang is going to be thrown. That's pretty unfortunate. They will decide to go for max energy as well, just in case they decide to no shield, but they do decide to shield, and they will get farmed down, but not in time. Charjabug is going to swap in, and Golbat is able to throw the Poison Fang here, do a little chip and dip, a little debuff, and swap in. Vigoroth is actually going to be the Pokemon to come in, as it does have access to Rock Slide for super effective damage, can easily let the first X-Scissor or Discharge through. It is going to be the X-Scissor. It's going to be a bit more energy to damage efficient in this neutral matchup, and Rock Slide is obviously going to be booming the bug right here. The Charge Bug, will they give up the final shield of this game? No, they decide to let it go. And we will see the final Pokemon is going to be Shadow Gligar. So Vigoroth still in a great position. Might be able to get to 2 Body Slams if the opponent is going to try to go for the aggressive wing attack farm down here. And we'll have to see, because Aerial Ace could be thrown. Ooh, they decide to swap into Annihilate instead to catch the charge move, saving all the energy on the Shadow Gligar, which is definitely going to be a very tough situation to be in as they come in now with Golbat. This is forcing the energy here. They have to let it go. If you shield on Golbat, the Gligar will just throw the second one right away before getting debuffed, but now Greedent has an opportunity to win. It's 1-to-1 shields. Vigoroth is back there safely for potential sacrificial swap later on. Mudshot and Body Slam is going to be taking this game, as all they need is 8 Mudshots in order to win. They're going to go ahead and let the first charge move go through. It is going to be that dig, not enough damage to knock out, and 2 Body Slams is going to be sealing the deal, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. The opponent likely going to be letting this through. Yeah, they go ahead and let it through, and they surrendered, so that is going to be a good battle. And that was the full set. So a little shorter video today, but a great set nonetheless. Oh, did it just restart it? No, it just went straight back to the beginning. Shout out to Let Jim Eat. Thank you for sharing these battles with us. It was really cool to see kind of some unique Pokemon, right? I know the Golbat and, or the Vigoroth is pretty top meta, right? But the Golbat Greedent combination was pretty interesting to see, and they did well overall, I think, against a lot of more meta lineups that they were facing off against in meta Pokemon, right? Especially that Lantern. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.